5,000 skiers leave for the continent every winter from Britain. Thousands go by rail or air in parties laid on by travel agents. Others get their skiing nearer home. Today, Scotland has more than 20 skiing centres strung across its highlands from Glencoe to the mighty Cairngorms. Local Scots enthusiasts put up this chairlift working through the summer months. Older hands at the game think the present generation of skiers is being softened by all this mechanisation. One last check. Safety bindings on modern skis have done a lot to cut the accident rate. But even at this altitude, the force of gravity is still what it always was. Come on, up you get. No, you can't go all the way down like that. At skiing, you find your own gradient as well as your own level, whether it's a nursery slope or one of the fast, steep runs of packed snow that challenge courage, strength and skill. Here at Murren, in the Bernese Oberland, birthplace of downhill ski racing and the slalom, the British Championships are in progress. And here, competing in the giant slalom, is the Aga Khan. He's a British citizen and a long-standing member of the ski club. He must twist through those gates, lightning-fast turns, if he's to stand a chance of a winning time. A missed gate means the competitor is out. Now comes Winston Churchill, grandson, of course, of Sir Winston. And here comes Charles Palmer Tompkinson in top gear, all out, and making the fastest time, 2 minutes, 7.6 seconds. With his good time in the slalom, it's enough to bring him victory. So a new British champion is born. And though British skiers may not yet be among the world's best, they're certainly getting a place on the Alpine map. The fastest way you can travel on land without a motor is to cycle. Speeds of about 40 miles an hour are not uncommon. A fair rate, with nothing beneath you but a bit of steel tubing and 2 slim air-filled compartments. The great cycling event in this country is the 1,500-mile Tour of Britain. 85 competitors, including teams from 7 countries as well as British regional teams, started out. After the mass start, competitors thin out, and many of them drop out or are eliminated for not finishing their stage in time. "23¼ miles per hour was the winner's average over 12 days along a route that takes in Welsh mountains and Lake District peaks. The game gives Britain one of its few world champions, Beryl Burton of Leeds, who in 12 hours has covered 277 miles, a greater distance than any other cyclist, man or woman. Just turned 30, this dedicated athlete, mother of a girl of 11, pedalled away on her own to win the World Amateur Road Championship for Women at the Holland meeting. Championships and records all come the same to Beryl Burton. She's gained so many of them. Scudding home in front of a spread-eagled field is no novelty to Beryl Burton.
Sterling Moss, here checking his BRM, is still considered by many as the fastest of all Grand Prix drivers. And the newest star racing for Britain is Australia's Jack Brabham, with a brilliant list of recent successes and the promise of more to come. Brabham's rise to stardom is as sensational as the rise of the little car he drives, the Cooper, a relatively low-powered British car with the behaviour of a thoroughbred. In only its second full year of international racing, the Cooper is suddenly leading the world in the trophies it snaps throughout Europe, the States and down under. And clocking Jack Brabham as he drives is the man who helped to make her, John Cooper. The first Cooper racing car came off the drawing board just after the war. John designed it with his father and drove it in small car races, 500cc events. Soon it was making a brilliant name for itself. Here's Brabham, Cooper's top driver, coming in from a test run. They talk the same language. Brabham is a top mechanic, a quality quite rare among racing stars. The Cooper recipe: put the engine in the rear, concentrate on suspension, handling ability rather than all-out power. But where does Britain find her racing stars? Many begin as amateurs, driving in sports car rallies, hill climbs, club events, and then going on to buy, hire, share, or build their own racing car. Another Cooper contribution to British car racing is the school for would-be racing drivers, which they've started at Brands Hatch in Kent. There, instructors lead the beginners round the track under the eyes of judges in the stands. With the instructor as pacemaker, the first test is 12 laps of the twisting hilly circuit at Brands Hatch. Right from the start, testing of beginners is pretty searching. It has to be. Those who still show promise, as the pacing is speeded up, are singled out for more advanced training, more severe tests, this time at the school's expense. Only about one pupil in 75 gets right through the next solo stage of schooling and sets foot on the first rung of the professional racing ladder, driving Cooper cars with the firm's backing in his first junior formula events. But it's a long haul to this, the British Grand Prix at Aintree, and they're off. Right from the start, it's the Australian Brabham, number 12, who streaks to the front. And Betty Brabham, a true racing wife, clocks his sizzling lap times from the pit counter as he streaks past the stands. Even over 2 hours of all-out driving, the pace is so hot and the running so close that a driver forced to a pit stop can see his chances vanish in the seconds it takes to refuel. And oh dear, here's Moss stopping, a wheel change that treads right off his tyres. And now they're flashing Brabham bad news about his tyres. Brabham ignores his pit and fights to stay ahead on worn-out tyres, with Moss gaining on him every time round. But as Betty Brabham watches the last lap round, her husband's still ahead. He's held off Moss to win. There's the flag as he streaks across the finish. And here's Moss, not the luckiest, seconds behind. And first to reach the winner is a young man with a big dream, maybe, of coming in first himself one day and having the world fall round his neck, just like this. And a kiss from his very best girl, just like this.
Stock car racing came to Britain from America 7 years ago. Is it a genuine sport or just an infantile craze? Unlike ordinary motor racing, it doesn't contribute to motor car manufacturing. Perhaps it's simply an outlet for drivers who get too much of this. But one thing is certain. The 1,000-odd stock car enthusiasts in Britain should never run short of raw material. They build their cars from a variety of parts, all of which can be picked up pretty cheaply. A man's sport? Not a bit of it. Quite a few gals have had a go at stock car racing. 37-year-old Tanya Crouch with her mechanic has raced for 6 years. For safety, doors are welded shut, by the way, but Tanya's used to getting in this way. There's plenty of space on their Sussex farm to try out that new motor. The cars stream into the pits at the track well before time, for there's plenty of work to be done. Tyres are stripped at the rate of 2 a race, so wheels have to be changed. Hairdresser's model, Mrs. Betty Mason from Chichester, is her husband's mechanic. As the work goes on, the official Board of Control scrutineer checks all cars and driver's safety harness, which must be fastened to the floor, not to the seat. Bumpers of regulation size must not protrude beyond the tyres. Warnings are issued. A car not up to regulations is barred. At the Brayfield, Northamptonshire track, it's an afternoon meet, and the girls turn up to cheer on their favourites. Drivers get a minimum £3 starting money, £10 for a win. There'll be as many as 40 cars at the meeting, 20 in a race. They're all ready now, and they're off. And so is someone's wheel. The first bend is murder. It's every man for himself. Get out of the way. Someone's having tyre trouble. Stop? Not on your Nelly. What's a tyre here or there? This is a 20-lap contest, about 8 miles, if you keep going the right way, that is. Look out, he's after you. The field's been cleaned out now, and the red tops are setting the pace. Move over. The barrels take a pasting, and with wrecks everywhere, things get a bit tricky. Cornering. This is how to do it. Whoops-a-daisy. No wonder those chassis have to be reinforced. The red tops have lapped what's left of the field by now, and soon it's the finish for those who survive this race of crashes, bangs and whops. Breakdown lorries sort out the pile-ups. The track must be cleared for the next event. To the majority of drivers, stock car racing is a highly competitive sport. To a few, it's a smashing craze.
India's Gujarat is home to a controversial clinic where families from all over the world can pay local women to bear children for them. Is it exploitative, or does it give local women a chance to escape poverty? House of Surrogates, here on BBC4, next.